All right, let's jump right into a story that's nearly 2,000 years old. It starts out simple enough, a man and his dog. But where it ends? Wow. It's this incredible revelation about reincarnation, karma, and the hidden consequences of everything we do. We're going to unpack the Sutra of Doudiao. So where does this story even come from? Well, it's from an ancient text called the Sutra for Doudiao, which is preserved in this amazing digital archive. We're going straight to the source here to pull out this really powerful narrative, one that's all about how what we do today literally shapes our tomorrow. Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just ask you something. Think about a pet you absolutely love, one you treat just like a member of the family. Now, what if that pet was family, like someone you actually knew before? Just hang on to that thought because it is the absolute key to this entire story. Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story begins in the ancient Indian state of Śrāvastī, and our main character is a man named Gula. Now, Gula has this dog named Mule, and he doesn't just like this dog, he adores him. I mean, they were completely inseparable. And listen, Mule wasn't just your average dog. This dog was living the high life, pure luxury. We're talking fine carpets to sleep on, beautiful golden dishes to eat from. Google gave him the absolute best of everything. To Google, Mule wasn't just a pet. He was a true companion. But you know how these stories go, right? This peaceful, pampered life, it's about to get completely flipped on its head. It all happens one day when Gun isn't home. The Buddha just happens to be passing by his house. And this one single moment is going to change absolutely everything. So as the Buddha walks by, Mule does what a lot of dogs would do. He starts barking. But this wasn't just a little hello bark. The text makes it really clear he barked fiercely. Really aggressively at the super calm figure just passing by. But here's where things get really strange. The Buddhist response is just extraordinary. He doesn't ignore the dog. Nope. He looks right at Mudale and says, "You used to shout at others with your hands raised. Now you bark as a dog. Have you no shame?" And just like that, bam, the dog's entire demeanor changes. It runs off, hides under a bed, and just refuses to eat, basically weeping with what looks like shame. Wild, right? So can you imagine? Gu gets home and finds his beloved dog totally distressed, just heartbroken. He finds out that some passing holy man said something that caused all this. Gu is, well, he's confused, but mostly he is furious. Who would do that to his dog? So he storms off, determined to find this guy and demand an explanation. And he finds him. The Buddha is there, teaching his disciples, and Gu does not hold back. He marches right up to confront him. "What did you say to my dog?" And this whole heated exchange really boils down to this one crucial question that Gu just lays out there. Who is this dog to me? And oh man, the answer he's about to get is something he could never, ever have imagined. This is the moment. This is when the story pivots from being about a guy and his pet to this incredibly profound lesson about life and death. The Buddha looks Gua right in the eye and says point blank, "He is your father, Doudiao." Just let that sink in for a second. Imagine hearing that. The dog you've been pampering, the animal you love so much, is the reincarnation of your own father. Ga, of course, is just floored. He can't believe it. He starts arguing, "No way. My father, Doudiao, he was an educated man. He knew the scriptures inside and out. He would not be reborn as a dog." But the Buddha explains that all that knowledge was totally overshadowed by his arrogance and his terrible temper. And that is what led to this rebirth. Seeing Gu's doubt, the Buddha offers him a way to prove it to himself. He gives him a challenge, 3 specific tests. He says, go home, ask the dog to do these 3 things that only your father would know how to do. So Ga goes home, his mind just reeling, and he puts the Buddha's words to the test. And what happens next is just astonishing. The dog does exactly as asked. It eats from his father's old bowl. It sleeps in his father's old spot. And then, for the final proof, it goes to a specific spot in the house and starts digging with its paws, revealing a vast trove of treasure his father had hidden. In that moment, Ga's entire world changes forever. So a completely transformed Gua returns to the Buddha. The anger is gone. It's been replaced by awe and just this desperate need for understanding. He accepts the truth now, and he's ready to learn the deeper lesson behind this miracle. His experience makes him ask the big questions, the ones we've probably all wondered about. Why is life so unequal? Why do some people suffer while others thrive? He's not just asking about his father anymore. He's asking about the very nature of existence itself.
In response, the Buddha lays out the law of cause and effect, what we often call karma. He shows these direct connections between our actions and their results. He explains that a lack of mercy leads to a short life. Constant anger and rage lead to an unpleasant appearance. Greed leads to poverty. And, just as they saw with Gu's father, arrogance and disrespect lead to a lowly status, in his case being reborn as an animal. It's like a direct cosmic accounting system for our actions.
And this brings us to the ultimate takeaway of the story. It's not just about a man finding out his dog is his father. It's about Ga and us understanding the fundamental principle that really governs our lives. Verse's transformation is complete. He expresses his newfound understanding with these incredibly powerful words. He explains that this knowledge has illuminated his entire world. The confusion, the anger, all gone, replaced by total clarity. And to make this profound law as clear as possible, the Buddha boils it all down into one simple, unforgettable metaphor that absolutely anyone can understand. He says it's as simple as farming. If you plant grain, you get grain. If you plant wheat, you get wheat. You will always inevitably harvest what you have sown. And it's the exact same way with our actions. Doing good yields good results, and doing evil yields evil results. There are no exceptions. And that's really where this story leaves us. The Sutra of Doudiao isn't just an ancient story. It's a mirror. It asks us to look at our own lives, our own actions, and consider the harvest we're creating for ourselves. So the question it leaves all of us with is this: if your life is a garden, what seeds are you planting today?